Welcome to the Pitmaster Podcast. We're barbecue competition competitors that aim to share information, advice, tips, and tall tales about our favorite pastime. Head over to thepitmasterpodcast.com for all things Pitmasters, or follow us on your favorite social media platform. And now, here are the hosts of the Pitmaster Podcast, the two-time Grand Champion, SCA World Champion finalist, and barbecue specialist of Smoke Ain't No Joke Barbecue, the Anthony Lujan, and the 24-time Grand and Reserve Grand Champion, Reserve World Grand Champion, Windover High Roller Champion, and the founder of Pitmaster Barbecue Supply Company stores in Utah, the old man himself from Big Johnson's Barbecue, Jesse Johnson.
This is Greg Rempe from the Barbecue Central Show, and you are listening to the Pitmasters Podcast, and they are doing it live.
We'll do it live.
That's right, Bill. I just said that. They're going to do it live.
We'll do it live.
Yes, live. They're going to do it live.
Oh, man. I guess you got to set people onto the stage to make it work correctly, Jesse.
What's up, Anthony?
Not much. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. Long day.
Yeah,
long day in the barbecue business today. Oh.
Apparently so, man. Yeah, we have he wanted to go by Bobby T on the show, so we have him on. He's I guess he teaches barbecue, brand ambassador, does a little bit of catering, competes and judges competition barbecue. So he's a well-rounded individual. We'll talk to him about what he has going on. Apparently he's also going to go to Disneyland with some big name barbecue people as well. We'll get into all that as well.
Yeah, he had a class last month, 30 days ago with Big Mo. Mo Cason. So
right.
Good buddy in the barbecue world. So
yeah. So what do you got going on, Jesse? Anything new?
Oh man, the tariffs are hitting the pellet market. You got all the new pricing today from a couple of our suppliers. So thank goodness I have a warehouse full of pits, and I'll be okay. And we don't have to hit people too hard. We're going to reach out to a few more pellet smoker guys out there and see if we can find some additional brands out there that are American made, and keep rolling, selling pellets, rubs, smokers.
That's it, man. It's just time to go back to let's go get some cinder blocks and some wood and make it happen. Keep it OG. Keep it OG.
That's how I started.
Probably has better flavor anyways.
We got the grand opening of our 5-Point Pitmasters coming up in May. You got that backyard competition, so that's going to be May 24th. So that store will be opening the first part of May, and then we got another backyard competition June 14th in West Jordan, and that store is just absolutely taken off with Kim and Troy Goodrich. Then we got the KCBS North Barbecue Championships June 20th and 21st. And then we got another pro event that we just announced that is going to be awesome. August 15th and 16th at Blue Compass RV, the Blue Compass Barbecue Bash.
Nice.
And it's got like 9 different RV hookups. It's going to be sweet for the guys. We got $6,500 in prize money for that. That's not going to be a KCBS, but it's still going to be a pro 4-meet pro competition. But man, it's good money. $6,500 in prize money. It's a nice little prize purse.
Nice. Yeah, and I'm heading to Vegas, man, this weekend. I'm gonna go
this weekend.
Yep, cooking SCA,
cooking steaks in a parking lot.
Cooking steaks, and then also I'm gonna try to cook a monster burger. Let's see how that goes. I have a game plan in my mind. We'll see if I can execute it.
What's the height going to be?
What's that?
What's the height going to be? You get a 18-incher? What are you doing?
No, it's probably going to be maybe 6.5, but it's just going to be stacked.
Some of those burgers are just off the chain, dog.
Right. Well, the thing is honestly, like, you've been to Lucky 13. A lot of people in Utah have been to Lucky 13.
That is my favorite burger in the state.
And I consider that a monster burger. If you need to, put your body weight into it to smash it so you can just
get your mouth on it.
Yeah,
right?
I consider that as a monster burger in my book. So
man, I love their pastrami burger, and I always get a double, and it's always too much. But
yeah,
make sure if you take a date to Lucky 13 and get the garlic fries, make sure your date gets the garlic fries too.
Exactly. I like the rosemary garlic fries. Those are
so good.
Yep. But yeah, so I'm gonna go down there and give that a go and see how that turns out.
That's how I met Jason Stuckey when he was part owner over there.
Yeah.
I met him at the World Food Championships when they won the best burger in the world, and that was the year we were the reserve world grand champion in pork down there. We met Jason, and that's what got him involved in barbecue 100 years ago.
Yeah,
So
was it Team America, right?
Team America.
Team America, yep.
Team America.
Yep, I remember those guys. They came in and just worked everybody. I think they won the local Sam's Club challenge when it was around as well too. So
yeah, man, that's a great competition. Wish that was still around too.
Right.
Well, let's bring in Bobby T and let's talk some smack about Mo.
Let's do it. Let's bring him in here.
We call it Thermapen 1, the first true 1-second cooking thermometer. Its unprecedented speed means Thermapen 1's responsiveness approaches the speed of thought. Because when you're plating the perfect menu or smoking the perfect side of barbecue, you don't have time to think about how your instant read thermometer is accurate to 0.5 degrees in 1 second or less, or how rugged and waterproof it is, or how big, elegant and bright the backlit display is. You'll just know it works, because our perfection powers your perfection. Seek perfection with Thermapen 1.
Welcome to the show, Bobby. How are you, man?
Good, guys. What's happening?
Not much. We're just enjoying our Tuesday night, and we're thankful that you are able to join us as well.
Yes, I'm happy as well.
So let's just jump into it. How'd you get into barbecue? Let's just start off there. I know it's the very traditional question we always ask, but it's always nice to know somebody else's story.
It's always interesting to see how people got involved in barbecue.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is kind of an interesting story. I took to charcoal grilling when I was a kid, because we had a little Weber kettle at home, and we used to go to the parks on the weekends, and there was just these, those old charcoal grills that are like cemented into the ground where the picnic tables are at the parks. So we're always hunting for a bag of charcoal and burning chicken and doing all that stuff. But my love of cooking came from my family, from the Italian side of my family, where we were making homemade foods for, the masses after church.
Yeah.
So I just kind of incorporated, the grilling and the barbecue into that family style cooking. But it really wasn't until I met Fred Perkle, Shotgun Fred Perkle, who was, him and I started the Barbecue Guru Company way back in the day.
Yep, I still have mine. I have one that I bought a backup for. It's still brand new in the box because I never needed it.
No kidding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
those things are 12, 14 years old, and they're still rolling.
Oh, easy.
Yep.
Yeah. So our first event after we started making these controls was Memphis in May. We just went down there on a whim. We just drove down, found a hotel in the city, and started talking to people about the controls. And everybody thought we were, a little nuts, trying to hook a computer to a firebox.
Yep.
But, we had a couple takers, and, it just started snowballing from there. I started our own barbecue competition team in 2003. Then we did one that year at the Vet in Philly, and just kind of snowballed into, 23-year career. And now I'm out on my own.
Nice. Yeah. So did you compete? How much competition time did you have at the start of your career?
Well, like I said, the first year was just, there's a whole bunch of us. And then, we did one or two a year, and then that kind of like broke down into like Fred and I going out, and then we had a couple of, great guys along the way helping out. But it got to the point where we were probably doing, I don't know, maybe 16 to 20 a year, making sure we're doing the Royal, the Jack, the Sam's Club events, which I heard you talking about earlier, and just getting out there, traveling and cooking.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Jesse, how many competitions did you do when you first got started? Like, what was your first 2 years like? Was it just a couple, or did you go?
No, heavy for us in Utah. You get 10 events, you were doing a lot of a competition. I think R&R was traveling quite a bit, and they were got in that 20s. But if I did 6 to 8 a year, that was a lot.
Yeah.
So
Now we get
I mean,
what, 3 now a year?
if I get one, I mean, I got one last year, and if I get one this year, I'll be happy. So I started putting them on, and when you put them on, you can't cook your own events. So
Yeah.
Right.
that's the tough part when you want to be the cook but you're the promoter. So
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's how I met. That's how I met Mo. Met
Oh,
Big
is that
Mo.
right?
Yeah, he traveled. He's doing the Colville competition, and that weekend, a lot of teams were coming into Utah cooking Colville, and then they headed up to Boise for a Sunday competition. So most of the guys bounced before awards, but that's how I met Big Mo. God,
Wow.
that's been
Yeah, I didn't know he could be
10.
in Utah.
Oh yeah, he was here for a couple of years, and I hooked him up with some jazz aprons. He was happy.
Oh, nice.
So,
What year was that, Jesse? What year do you think that was?
2012, 13. So yeah,
Got
right
it.
in there. He cooked.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I think we lost him. Oh man.
Oh, geez.
He probably got a phone call. This is what happens when you do podcasts on your phone. But yeah. So I think what he was hinting towards is that you
Sorry about that.
yeah. We lost you, Jesse. Did you get a phone call?
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
I get it. I see. I called it, Bobby. There we go. He's back.
Am I back? There we
There.
go.
There you go. So
It was a spam call anyway. I declined it and still kicked me off. I apologize,
Yeah.
guys.
It's all good.
No big
So it was about 2012, 2013. So this is probably before Mo even took off as well, because
Oh no, he was crushing it back then.
Was
Then
it?
because
Oh.
he was.
yeah, I
Mo's
guess.
been. That was before a lot of the TV. I think he had been on Pitmasters at the time, but
Yeah.
no, he was super gracious for he was kind of a barbecue celebrity even back then. So
Yeah.
and we saw him at the Royal, and yeah, it was funny. It was like old home week. Stookie, me, and Big Mo had a good party at the Traeger tent.
Nice. So how are you tied in with Mo, Bobby?
So Mo and I, Mo used to call my company, back when in the early days, because he was using the controls and wanted to learn more about them and stuff like that. I think he was using Big Green Eggs, and at first I was like on the phones, as we're starting this company, answering all the phone calls and trying to get everything done and like multitasking. So I was always on the phone when he called.
Mm-hmm.
And then as things progressed and I started to work my way up the ladder, I wasn't on the phones anymore. And he's like asking my customer service team, "Hey, where's Bob? I want to talk to Bob." And he's like, "Oh, well, he's in a meeting or he's here, he's there." And I'm like, "Well, I want to talk to Bob." So he started getting a little upset with me. I wasn't getting on the phone call, and then I would call back eventually. And sometimes I couldn't. So funny story. I think it was like 2008 or 2009. I was at the American Royal. And I saw him kind of like 2 aisles over. He was on a corner, and we had some brand new controls that we had designed, and I brought one over to him, gave it to him as a gift, and said, "Hey, sorry, I'm not on the phone, when you call in anymore, and I want to apologize. But I want to give you this gift." And he was like, "Wow, really?" He was kind of taken back by it. And we just became good friends, from there on. We did a lot of commercials together. We did some TV shows together for the military. And through the years, we've just, built a relationship. And his family and my family are very close. And, we're just like, we're barbecue brothers. We're very, very good friends.
That's awesome. I've never really, I guess I should say, I kind of grew with Hey Grill Hey, watching her launch and everything and seeing all that too. It was very fun to see her do her thing, man. Now
her explode, yeah.
It's crazy. And then her husband Todd is both amazing, just to watch them grow and just know that they're still kind of true to their roots, right? That's very awesome.
That is
how was your class last month with you and Mo? You sell it out?
So last month was Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then I literally just got back a few hours ago from a class up in the UP.
Oh, nice.
So
UP for Utah people, that's the Upper Peninsula.
Oh yeah, yep. We were up at a place called Pine Stump Junction. It was in the middle of nowhere, and it just started when we first got up there. It was kind of a cool, like windy afternoon, and you're starting to see the snow and the pines, and you realize you're starting to lose service, getting a little creeped out. I saw a wolf.
Hearing banjos.
Yeah, I may have saw like a Sasquatch. I wasn't sure what it was. And we pull up to this bar, right, called Pine Stump Junction. It's got a little like 1950s gas tank out front, and it's like I don't know, like a log cabin style. And it just came to life over the next day and a half, 2 days. And we met some of the most amazing people, characters popping in this bar, because this bar is kind of like on the trail of like all the like the snowmobiles and ATVs and all that stuff, and it's kind of like a stop along their way. And man, it was super cool. Met some awesome people up there. Got to do some great things. And the Atlanta class that I had last month was also amazing. That was like in the city of Atlanta in Buckhead.
That's fun.
It's just neat to travel. I love traveling and teaching classes because you get to be in, a new environment all the time. You get to kind of what they do, the locals do, and they want to like show you, what they're all about in that area. And it's wild, man. It's super cool.
It's fun. I've got to be able to teach some classes out in Connecticut and New York. Man, tell you what, that they're just starving for information up in the East Coast, the Northeast Coast. Yeah, they're just starving for information because they don't get enough information up there.
That's right. And I'm just north of Philly, and you're right. It's everybody's looking. I just got off the phone with the guy earlier. He wants to do a class at the local farm up the street, and we do them like once or twice a year.
Man, I want to travel and teach some classes. You guys got to tie me in on how to do this.
Yeah,
they're fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can. I can say I'm pretty confident, and I can teach a state class. So,
yes, you can.
Yeah. So, but let's go through. Let's dissect your website. You have a lot here on your website.
You just froze on us.
Am I here? No, am I frozen?
Yeah, we got you back, Anthony.
All right. Okay. Yeah, let's just dissect your website, man. There's a lot of information on here. Let's just start off. I'm just going to go across the tabs. Let me see here.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Because I started using Barbecue Gurus back when I got an Assassin, and you could order a Barbecue Guru through the Assassin. So I brought that in. And, and I'm like, what if that ever goes out? I bought an extra one. It's still sitting in that box. It's so crazy. But I mean, they just work and work and work. I mean, and it's ran from 105 degrees to, I've probably cooked with that thing in the low 20s.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We tested them down to negative 35 back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah, and if it's raining, you just throw a little Ziploc baggie over the top, and then you're just fine.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
A lot's changed since then, though, right?
Yeah. Well, 4 years away from that company, and my wife and I have started to, build our own brand. Even though that was kind of in the works in the background, we're just putting full 100% effort into our brand and the sauces and the seasonings and the brand ambassador, the classes and the catering, and our whole life is barbecue, really.
Nice. So yeah, let's talk about your brand ambassadors. What kind of stuff do you have going on? Obviously, if you're watching live, you see this beautiful photo of Bobby sipping on some
Tito's.
She's like, no, look off into space and just give
right.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a serious guy. I'm kind of a fun, playful, kind of goofy guy. I don't know. It was too serious for me, but well, I was at a SCA contest, and years ago, I brought the family out, and the ancillary was Bloody Mary. So I made a Bloody Mary with Tito's and Bloody Revolution Bloody Mary mix, both out of Austin. And I don't know if I won it or I came in like second place, but like within a tenth of a point. And I posted this. It had It had cheeseburger sliders. It had grilled shrimp. It had bacon. It had everything at Awesome Bloody. It was a meal, right? And I posted it, and then I met John Zamora at Memphis and May. He goes, "Dude, that was awesome. Let me know if you need any." And then the guys from Bloody Revolution said, "Hey, let's start to work together." So we do a Bloody Mary bar at all of our classes. That's what we start our day off with. So
That's awesome.
your day's not going to go wrong.
No.
Start out with a nice Bloody Mary bar.
Or you might forget the entire class. There's two options.
Yeah, well, I kind of take an assessment of the crew and see how many bottles I'm going to put out.
That's hilarious. But yeah, so
we got that going on. And, I have a lot of like grill or smoker companies that'll ask me to, partner with them to cook, to do content with their grills. So I do a lot of stuff like that.
Sweet.
That's fun.
This is the part of the show I ask Jesse every week. Hey, Jesse, can you turn down your headphones a little bit?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Old.
Man, Logan, our friend Logan Chestnut over there from Small Batch Barbecue, man, he says it's the best Bloody Mary mix he's ever had.
Oh, yeah. Well, I bring it to deer camp.
So,
he loves it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Nothing like free Bloody Marys,
Oh, so good. So good.
Yeah. Did Anthony freeze again?
I think he's frozen, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I guess I'm back. Yeah.
You got some connectivity issues.
I'm just glad it's not
my
me.
son downstairs gaming,
Plug in your RFX, man. You won't have any connectivity issues.
Yeah, this is terrible. Terrible.
How did you meet? You met Mo at Memphis and May. Is that where you met him?
Well, yeah, like face to face. I knew him for years before that, but face to face, yeah. It was not Memphis and May. American Royal. Yeah.
Have you ever cooked it with him at Memphis and May?
No, actually, in the early days, I would go hang out with my buddy Kel Phelps at National Barbecue News, and back in the day, there was a guy named Butch Lupinetti, Butch Smack Your Lips, and Jack McDavid, who had a show back in the day with Bobby Flay. So they had a team, and they're from the Philly area, so I'd go hang out with them. That was back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. And then I met Heath Riles, and Heath Riles and I hit it off, and he's like, "Come on, jump on my team, and we'll have a place for you." So I've been cooking Memphis and May with the Heath Riles team for the last 7 years.
That's awesome. We saw a ton of his product in our stores.
Oh, I bet. You got to get some Bobby T stuff there.
And we'll have that conversation.
Yeah, he's got
All right, guys, I think I'm back.
So how many products do you have?
Geez, I want to say a total of 15 products.
Gotcha.
I have
so what are they?
I have my Alpha Rub, 7 Bones, Chipotle garlic butter, and Mad Maddie's. There's 4 barbecue rubs. There's 6 sauces. I have my Mighty Mitch wing sauce. So I named some of my products after my kids because they were like, it started with my son, Mighty Mitch. He was like a big wing guy, and he helped me develop this when he was like 13 years old.
Nice. That's cool.
I said, dude, if you come out, if we can get this to happen, I'm going to name it after you. So we got the wing sauce. People go nuts for it. They buy it by the gallon. They buy it by the case. I have restaurants buying it by the buckets. So we got the wing sauce. I have a peaches and brown sugar, which is a huge seller. My original sauce, that literally came to me 2 weeks before the Vegas World Food Championship back in the day. It was in Vegas.
Yeah, that's the one I was a reserve world grand champion at.
There you go. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
And they haven't been in Vegas for a minute.
No, I haven't been back there since. I won some money, and then my wife came to town and lost it all. So, but yeah, I used it there, and I won ribs in the first round with that rub, my first rub of my first sauce, and it started taking off. I have a bourbon sauce made with real Kentucky bourbon, named after my wife, and then I have my pizza products.
Oh,
So
really?
I have a pizza seasoning. I have a lemon garlic butter. I've started an Italian or Mediterranean line of products because that was my true roots in the pizza making. There they are. So I have a sauce, I have a pizza seasoning, I have a pizza dough, and then I have a lemon garlic butter, which is in there somewhere. Might have to scroll. But I'm telling you, that pizza seasoning that's in the middle there, I bought myself a holster, and I pop that in the holster. So when I'm out in the town, if we have to stop at a pizza place,
You're going to doctor it up.
I pop out of the holster and shake it right on the pizza.
I think that's awesome.
I'm gonna send you guys some. You're gonna love them. You're gonna love it.
All right, I'm totally down for that. It's kind of one of those things. I don't know. It's one of those guys that will just walk around with because they have the Cholula or Tabasco. It just goes on everything, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. You just do it.
You can fix some of those Bartool Sports pizza reviews with some of your seasoning.
Oh man, I'm telling you, it's crazy. I cook a lot of pizza. Actually, last year and a half ago, I got my Pizzaiola certification out in Chicago. It's an Italian certification, so it was a pretty cool thing to have. And I've been just, like I said, the Italian foods have been my core cooking style since I was young.
Yeah.
It's really neat to see that. But yeah, there's a guy who hosts my class down in Grand Prairie, Texas, and his son will keep that pizza seasoning on him. And when he eats spaghetti, he shakes down every forkful.
Oh, wow.
I thought that was so cool.
So my question is, deep dish, thin crust, Chicago style, Detroit style. What is your go-to favorite
New
pizza?
Haven style?
Yeah, I can't pick one. I love pizza so much. All right, so the way my grandmother made it was a rectangle. So I grew up in the Scranton area, and if you've ever heard of Old Forge Pizza, it's a thing. Not everybody's heard of it, but it's a wild area where it's like pizza shop on top of pizza shop on top of pizza shop, and my grandmother made it was like a light, airy olive oily rectangle crust with a very simple but elegant homemade pizza sauce, fresh oregano, fresh sliced garlic, and a little Locatelli Romano cheese. That was it.
Crispy crust.
Crispy olive oil, that rich tomato flavor with the garlic.
I love a crispy pizza.
And there was no mozzarella on it. That's what she did. And man, we couldn't get enough of it. But then I expanded my horizons to the rest of the world, the New York style and Detroit style. Man, I love them all. I love Connecticut pizza, the New Haven. I love Detroit style. I'm not a super fan of the deep dish. It's not my thing.
Yeah, I me either.
I don't know, man. Have you Giordano's pizza in Chicago?
Yeah. Well, I never had that one. I've had others, but I never had that one.
That one is a home run.
Okay. Well, I'll have to try it.
You must enjoy cheese, though. It's thick. Like we're talking like a pound of cheese per large.
So it's more like a lasagna.
Yeah, it kind of really is. It really is.
Yeah.
Because they literally they bake the crust first, then they fill in it, and then they bake it again as well. So it's just,
right.
They tell you when you sit down, your pizza can take up to an hour to be done. So if you want to know what you want, order it now.
Yeah, I'm a fan of being creative with pizza. I just did a video. It popped up on YouTube and Instagram. It's called the Easter pizza, and it was a family tradition for me where they would take the Easter eggs. Like the leftover Easter eggs, and slice them up. They're hard-boiled eggs, and you would layer them in a deep dish pizza dough with homemade soppressata, the Italian meats that the great uncles would be hanging from the basement, rafters next to the vino.
Yeah,
and sharp provolone, just layer and layer and layer and layer, and then kind of fold it up, close it up, and bake that. There's no sauce in it, but it's rich and delicious, and the whole family goes nuts for it. So I'm just a fan of creating all kinds of styles of pizza. I don't really have. I'm not stuck.
Yeah,
Well,
I love it because the Green Mountain Grills has a pizza insert that you have a nice stone, and man, you
Yep.
can rip a pizza, and like when the grandkids come over, I'll make like, I think Father's Day I made like 18 different pizzas, and
Yeah,
I just do a thin crust and let the kids make their own pizzas, and they're done in
Yeah.
2 minutes. They're in heaven.
that's a lot of fun. The only thing is you need someone to clean up after you, because I know the flour flies everywhere.
Yeah.
I know
Hey,
it's
we
like
do it all outside.
Yeah.
hose it off.
Yep.
Well, we have a question from one of our listeners here. Pineapple, fire or crap on pizza? Pineapple on pizza.
Okay. Pineapple, fire, or crap. So I would say I'm not a fan. I'd say crap. But I think I could make a pineapple pizza that people who don't like pineapple pizza would enjoy.
Really? What would that be? What ingredients would go on that pizza?
Well, first of all, a lot of crispy bacon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I would take, instead of like sliced or ring pineapple, I'm going to take crushed pineapple, and then I'm going to pat it between paper towels and get it dry.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm going to like lightly sprinkle that around. And then I might even do like candied bacon there, a little bit of candied bacon.
Mm.
Maybe even throw some, like a little bit of pulled, like some money muscle, pulled pork on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the pork and the bacon are the star with a touch of sweet pineapple. I think I can change people.
Are we
But
talking?
here's the thing,
Are
if
we
you
talking
take-
a red sauce or a white sauce?
Now it wouldn't be any sauce. It would be like a 4 cheese, like
Okay.
you have mozzarella, you'd have a touch of parm. You don't even need a sauce on it
Okay.
because all those things are going to just.
it'd be interesting. Take a bacana, start roasting your pineapple, and slice it super thin, and do that on a pizza. Man, that would be good.
Oh,
There you go.
but yeah. I guess it'd be almost like you'd be heavily leaning towards almost like a dessert style pizza, almost the end with how much sugars we're going to be adding to that.
Well, yeah. Personally, I'm not. I mean, I'll eat a dessert pizza once in a while. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you go light on the pineapple and then give it more of that roasted pork or smoked bacon flavor,
Right.
I think you could change people.
Got
I think that sounds good. I'm gonna have to get some pizza tonight, even though it's against my diet.
So Bobby, have you spent much time in Chicago? Have you spent a lot of time in Chicago?
Well, I just drove through there. When was it? Dude, I've been on the road so much. I drove through there yesterday afternoon.
So you're saying that you're like, you come from the Italian background and everything.
Yeah.
Who has the best Italian beef sandwich?
I have never. So I have a lot to learn.
Okay.
Everybody else. I've never had an Italian beef sandwich in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
I haven't spent a whole lot of time in Chicago.
Okay.
I've been there on business, and you're like, I really don't have time to play.
Right.
So that's what on my bucket list.
I am going to recommend Al's
Okay.
on the south side.
All right.
Everybody will say Portillo's, go to Portillo's. They got
Yep, that's the one you hear about.
Yep. And then they always say, get a hot dog while you're there from Portillo's. No. Go to the south side, go grimy. It's not a clean establishment by any means. But
are they dunking it?
Yes, they are submerging it and dunking, and it is so damn good. Literally, Amanda got 3 phone calls in that one restaurant experience between me, her brother, and then us together to tell her how great the sandwich was. So she knows all about it.
Awesome. And you know what? I have to backtrack here and say I was wrong, because I had Portillo's. I did have a Portillo's.
Mm.
And I totally forgot about it. When I was there a couple years ago with my buddy Freddie, we actually had a Portillo's, and it was delicious.
Okay.
So
See, but you slightly forgot about it. So did it really stick?
Well, you know why? Because I come from the land of the cheesesteak, and I'm a cheesesteak fan.
Where do we go get a good cheesesteak when we're in Philly then?
There's so many good places.
Yeah,
what is your go-to? What is your
he's playing
go-to?
politics right now.
Yeah, what is your go-to?
You come to my house and I'll make you cheesesteak.
Great answer.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cheese whiz?
No. So my son's a cheese whiz guy. I'm a Cooper Sharp.
Okay.
Do you know what Cooper Sharp is?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
I've never had it.
Made here. It's made locally, and it's not all throughout the country. And it's like a white American cheese that has a sharp bite to it.
Has a nice bite to it. Yep.
Very creamy, melts easily, and there's nothing like it on the planet.
I've had it. I've had that smoked before.
Oh wow.
That smoked is the bomb.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesse, I've been cruising through his website while we're talking to him. You know, you want to make what makes me so happy. No offense to you, Bob. But the creator of Barbecue Guru, right? We drop down and look at what we find.
ThermalWorks
products.
Well, because I'm an affiliate, man.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
And that I did that after I left Barbecue Guru. Look, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. All right. Good. Yeah. Everything's on here except for the bills. We need to get the bills out of that webpage, and it'll be a home run.
Oh yeah. Well, listen, I'm doing my best to promote products I love.
Right. So that's what I kind of brought it. Why I was kind of segueing to this. What is your number one tool that you tell people to use when you're cooking, other than their smokers? Right. Obviously, we're leaning towards ThermalWorks products here, but why?
Well, I tell people that the ThermaPen is the Jedi lightsaber of the pitmaster, right?
Yep.
That is. Some people say, you don't need a meat thermometer or whatever. If you understand your meat done temperatures on all the meat you're cooking, you're going to be successful. That's the way it is. So why not have a meat thermometer on you and temp your meats and learn from that? And then if you want to go in there and start poking it with your finger and doing all that stuff, that's great. But having a meat probe and an accurate and quick meat probe is the Jedi weapon. And I tell people all the time, if you understand done temps and when to pull them and resting, you're going to be 1,000% more successful.
Yeah, other than your smoker, the ThermaPen 1 is probably the next most important tool in the pitmaster arsenal, I think, to being a successful pitmaster.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
So what pits are you running on these days?
God, I have so many. Hold on, let me see if my wife's listening. So I have I bought an M&M barbecue company smoker, the wood-fired rotisserie off of Mo. A couple of years back. I love that thing. You know, I use that a lot for catering. I use it for competitions. So that's the rotisserie wood fire. I have an old hickory out there. I have a CC Fab Santa Maria grill. It's like 7 feet long. It's really, I don't know if I can say badass, but
you can say badass.
Yeah, that thing's amazing because it's got a firebox in the center that you burn wood splits down into coals. Then you can
move your coals around.
And you move them left or right. And I had some hook flanges built at the top so I can hang chickens or whatever I want to do over the fires as the wood's burning down. I have a few pizza ovens out there, Alpha ovens. I have a Cook Shack pizza ovens, pretty cool. I have a Green Mountain Trek. I mean, I can go on and on and on. I have Meadow Creek hog cookers. I have Meadow Creek chicken cookers.
You do a lot of catering then. Yeah,
we do. And we're starting to phase out catering a little bit as we start to grow our rub and sauce brand. You know, and do more classes and travel. We're starting to phase that out a little bit, but we still, you know, certain times of year, April, May, June, July, we're doing some catering.
And that's a fun way to get your get your products out there too. When you go to a catering job,
Yeah.
like this is the seasonings we used on these products. It's a great way to sell products on
It
top
really
of the money you make with the catering.
Yeah. It certainly is. And we're in the greater Philadelphia area, so we do the 5 counties.
Is it more or less corporate or weddings? Is that what you're honing in on, or is it just whoever calls and you are available that day?
We do a lot of corporate events, and then we do some like anniversaries and weddings in the fall and things like that, but it's mostly corporate.
Got it. Did you see that question that popped up? I think Logan Chestnut wants to fight you or something because he said Jersey Mike's
Well, he wants. Why? What did he say?
So you got the best cheesecake.
No, he said Jersey Mike's has the best cheesesteaks.
All right,
you can't fix stupid. You just can't.
I'm going to bring a ladder with me to deer camp and then put you in a headlock.
Yeah, I took a Green Mountain Grill up to elk camp that was last year, and that was a huge hit. Helped me get me a big bull. So
nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Well, I'm kind of jealous of all your cookers, Bobby. You know, I have a lot more. I lean heavily towards the smoker stuff. Yeah. But I kind of really want to get into more of that live fire stuff, the rotisseries and the Brazilian style grilling. You know,
those Meadow Creek chicken cookers, you can cook just an enormous amount of chicken really easily because it sandwiches it. You flip it when it's inside the sandwich itself. It just makes it really easy and nice.
Sandwich rack. You can put. You can use a natural lump, or you can use. You can use a natural briquette, or you can use a lump in there. Got to be careful with lump because it could get hot. But those racks are probably 36 inches from the fire. So every 7 minutes I'm flipping, and in 30 to 35 minutes I have 72 pieces of chicken done.
Jeez,
that one's a bigger one. I think is that the BBQ 42?
BBQ 64.
All right, so I have a BBQ 4. I have 2 BBQ 42s.
Okay.
So that you can fit probably over 100 pieces of chicken on.
Jeez, and that's honestly, if you're looking at the price, if you get one catering gig and you handle that much, you could probably almost cover the cost of it.
Pays for
it. If you really want to see a site, I put whole turkeys on, spatchcock turkeys on them, and sandwich them in. Holy cow, are they good, man? I'm telling you, crispy skin turkeys.
Yeah.
Over the flame, ridiculous.
Well, I think it's a selling point too for your catering, right? You're going to show up early. You're going to start the process. That you're going to get the smells going. When people start showing up, they'll be able to see that. They'll be able to experience it and then taste it. I think it's like an all-in-one type catering gig, and that's awesome. I feel like food tastes better when I can see it coming off a grill. You know, like a turkey leg at the state fair. It's just a smoked turkey leg that they're reheating, but I feel like it tastes better because you're watching them pull it off the charcoal grill out there.
Yeah, no, I agree. As long as
it's the smell-o-vision.
Yeah, exactly. For real.
Yep.
For real, man. This is awesome. Yeah, I'm just going through your entire website here and everything, but I really enjoy the store. And apparently, I've never tried any of your products. I'm going to be completely honest with you, but our listeners have tried it and they love it. You know, there's people out here that's saying that one of them Crystal looks like she won a rib ring from you back in the days. I don't know what that's all about.
Oh gosh. I designed a rib rack. I was working for the company I was working for. So when I designed it, it wasn't my own patent. I designed it for the company. But I designed a metal wire rack that fits in a ceramic grill, and you can hold 7 racks of ribs upright, like on edge, in a large ceramic grill.
Okay.
And it was just a way for me to, people would call us all the time, so I can only fit 2 racks of ribs on my round grill. I'm like, yeah, you got food on a round grill. So I came up with this idea, and we were selling tons and tons and tons of them.
You know what's funny is you talk about that. I have literally one in my storage unit that I've never used, and I'm like, when am I going to use this? Literally, I have an unused one in my storage unit, and I'm like, when am I going
Put
to
it
use
on one
this?
of your drums. Put it on one of your drums.
Yeah, it worked well.
Yeah, I need to give that a go. But then again, I'm never cooking 7-8 racks of ribs at one time. It's usually 3 at competition or 2 at home for eating.
You know, when you like I do, you got to cook 7 racks of ribs.
Yeah.
Right.
Most I've cooked is like, I think I can fit 150 on my old hickory.
Jeez. That is a lot of ribs there, Jesse. That is
A lot of ribs.
But it's nothing like, what really blew my mind when it came to cooking ribs is when Jesse had his competition out in Wendover.
That's what I did 150 racks.
There was a guy out there. I don't know what I don't remember anything about his setup, but he had this huge, fair looking setup, and he had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of racks of ribs out there. And he was literally pulling them out, frozen, seasoning them on there, and throwing them in there. And apparently people were loving them. You know who this guy was?
Well, we had multiple guys out there because we set up that competition on the way to Reno. So we'd get Checkered Pig would stop by, and that might be one of the guys you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then we had Steve-O from Vegas, but they all have big old hickories or Southern Prides.
Yeah.
They can sling some ribs because, I mean, hell, they're doing $250,000. In a week in Reno.
Tommy Houston can sling some ribs, man, and they are.
Tommy Houston's my boy, man. I love Tommy.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
What's up, cuz? Yeah, that's interesting because Tommy just sold his competition sauce to Heath Riles.
Oh, okay.
And that's been crushing for the store.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a great sauce, Tommy. I mean, I think Tommy's trying to, the 2 restaurants going on in Virginia, he's kind of working his way into retirement.
Yeah. Well, he's a hobby guy. He's an active dude, so I'm sure he'll fill his time up with plenty of things.
Right. Speaking of sauces, I'm looking through your sauce catalog here.
Okay.
There's one that's out of stock, and that must be an amazing product because it sounds amazing, the apple vinegar sauce.
Okay, so just to be completely honest with you, people absolutely love it, but it's such a niche sauce. It's a lot of people around the world don't love vinegar, and this is a very pungent vinegar sauce with red pepper flake and black pepper, salt, and a little bit of sugar, and I use apple puree in it to give it a sweetness. And I'm telling you, if you have, like, when you do chopped pork and you have the fatty, crispy back cap in there, this sauce, I know a lot of people will go crazy for it, but I put it on pause right now because it's just not one of my top selling sauces, and I don't want it sitting around, but I'm ready to put it back out on the market as soon as
we sell so much vinegar sauce out of the stores. That's it. When people are talking about making pulled pork or their ribs, I'm like, here's a suggestion. Pork loves vinegar. Try the vinegar sauce. Mix it into your pulled pork before you even let people sauce it. And it just, I can't imagine
totally agree
how good that would be with apple puree in that. That just sounds phenomenal.
Yeah,
it really is good, and I'm really hoping soon I can start to make some pallets of it and get it back out on the market. Actually, people were telling me they dip their French fries in it. Like,
oh man,
ooh,
like boardwalk fries with the malt vinegar.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get it rolling again. But
well, I just think that, like you said, it's a very thin market, but there's a reason why myself will go through the entire chip aisle and I'll go straight to the blue bag of Lay's salt and vinegar.
Me too.
It just has that, there's hundreds of bags and I go to that one,
that's the bite. That bite's so good.
Yeah. And I have some really cool ideas for that sauce, but I want to make sure I have some full pallets of it ready to go once I start promoting it on the YouTube channel.
Right. Yeah. When that comes back into stock, you need to reach out to us because I really want to try it, because that one's the one that stands out. That and your wing sauce really stands out to me. Obviously, I would love to try all of them, but from somebody who's tried a lot of sauces, I'm not really leaning towards the bourbon. I've had bourbon and then the peaches, but that sauce and the wing sauce jump at me, and I'm like, that's what I would order off the website.
But peach sauce sells really good, though.
It really does.
Peach sauce does really good around here.
Yeah, I've been putting that on my chicken and KCBS competitions and winning with that.
I bet.
Well, the thing is it's so sweet. It's not just for proteins. You can use it on a cheesecake. You can use it in a cocktail if you even wanted to.
Sure.
So, so that's what I like about a good sweet sauce, is because it's multi-purpose. It's not just the meats. I enjoy putting sauces on grilled cheese sandwiches. And,
oh, absolutely. Agree with that.
Yep. So I go beyond just traditional meats on it. I'm like, this sauce looks like it will look good in this dish. Let's give it a go. So, I'm a big fan of just trying new combinations up. And then as for your rubs, man, these rubs look amazing too. Like I said earlier, we had people commenting on those as well. And which one do you lean heavier into for somebody who's looking to up their competition?
The alpha rub is probably the most used in competition.
Okay.
That's your like quintessential barbecue rub. You get your colors, you get your flavors. It's got everything from sweet to savory to a little kick at the end. And that's like the top base for my pork, chicken, and ribs.
Mm-hmm.
And then the chipotle garlic butter is something that people use as an underlayer for pork and ribs.
Okay.
And it does really well. And that's what I teach in my classes, because a lot of people were giving me feedback that they were doing that back in the day. And I started using that as an underlayer. And then for brisket, the 7 bones, it's got some really, nice, rich flavors in it. It's pepper forward. It's got Worcestershire powder in it. And it does really well with brisket and steaks and burgers and things like that. But believe it or not, people start using it on seafood, like shrimp.
Oh man!
In like seafood category, and it's really good on shrimp and scallops and things like that.
Awesome. Yeah, the chipotle garlic butter kind of. I imagine I can see myself using that, grinding it up into almost a fine powder, and then putting that under the skin on the chicken for a nice base layer. I can see that really working well.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, man. Jesse, you're going to need to make contacts after this podcast and get some products in the store.
I'll send him a message through Instagram.
Send me a message and I'll get samples out there.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Heck yeah. Well, Bob, we're coming to the end of this hour. We've talked a lot about your products, but what is in the future pipeline of what you got going on? Are you willing to leak any secrets to us tonight, or?
Secrets. We're doing more classes. We're looking at a class in Ohio. We're looking at a class in San Diego. We're going to be doing a class back here in Pennsylvania. So we got West Coast, East Coast. If anybody's interested in having the Bob and Mo barbecue show out to their area, let us know. We'll try to make it work. I'll be at Memphis in May cooking with Heath. I'll be doing the beef category and the wing category for him again. And, just putting a foot to the floor and keep moving forward.
Heck yeah.
Get Big Booty Judy rolling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the name of Mo's truck.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
I was like, I'm missing something here. I'm just going to laugh at the joke.
Got all kinds of fun names for cookers, for his trucks.
Nice.
Yep.
I can't keep up.
I just seen him. It was a beautiful black car. I don't even know what model was. Maybe a Plymouth that he posted the other day. That car looks amazing.
Oh yeah, he's got 69 Super B. We went to breakfast. Yeah. I met him. I got off a plane. I got an Uber. Met him for breakfast in Iowa. We were teaching a class out there, and he had that 69 Super B in the parking lot. And I think he did 0 to 60, and we just out of the parking lot.
Jeez.
I was white knuckled, man. I was white knuckled.
Oh man,
that thing it's incredible to see in person.
It's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Let's go ahead and let people know where to find you. Let me get your banner rolling here really quick.
Okay.
And then where they can find
Yeah,
you on social media.
Couple websites, social media.
Yeah.
So we got Bob Trudnak, BBQ.com is my main website, which is the one you've been looking at, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And then we have the Bob and Mo BBQshow.com. That's where we teach our classes. That's where you can get a hold of us if you want a corporate class or a, just like a class at your restaurant or your bar or your brewery or whatever. And then you can follow me on Instagram at BBQ Bob 11, BBQ Bob 11. And Facebook at Bob Trudnak Brand. And I'm even on TikTok.
Sweet. You do some dancing on there?
I mean, a little.
Little shimmy, shimmy, shake.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. It's not very good, but it's entertaining.
Got it. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. That was very fun, and I feel
Thanks
like
so much.
we need to dig deeper into you a little bit yourself. I want to maybe have you back on in maybe 6 months or so, and just really dive into some recipes, man, and talk about some actual cooking styles. Now that we've learned who you are, maybe we want to dive into some cooking styles and some recipes and more. If you'd like to join us.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And I'm doing a lot of fun stuff coming up on the my new YouTube channel, Cooking with Bobby T. So you're gonna see a lot of really cool world cuisine there.
Sweet, sweet. Well, thank you again, man. Thank you. Crystal says thank you.
Appreciate
it.
We appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Awesome.
All righty. We'll catch you on the next time.
All right. Take care, guys.
See you, Bobby.
Bye.